Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Sikich Live Salesforce Edition. We're glad to be back after the wonderful long holiday weekend that we hope everyone enjoyed safely, of course. Today, we are talking about Salesforce for Outlook. This topic was a highly asked for topic from all of our viewers, so we decided that we had to have it for today's topic. So Sikich Salesforce expert Cole Harris, he's going to join us here in a minute. But before we get to that, I would be remiss not to mention to like and subscribe right now, whether you're coming from Facebook, LinkedIn, or YouTube Sikich channels, so that you can get these notifications when Sikich goes live every Tuesday and Thursday each week with a new and exciting topic, either on ERP, IT managed services, security, CRM, and so much more. Don't be shy in Sikich Live, like we always say. If you're in the chat right now, ask a question about something that you want to know about Salesforce for Outlook. We know this is a hot topic for a lot of people out there as Salesforce with Outlook moves to something that's going to look a little bit different. So we know that there's probably questions out there, and we're happy to answer those. That's why we're here. That's why we're live. Okay, so let's bring Cole on. Hey, Cole, how are you? Thanks for coming to Sikich.
I'm Michael. Good to be here. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So can you tell us a little bit about yourself before we get started?
Yeah, my name is Cole Harris. I'm a functional consultant here for Salesforce. For Sikich, I work on the Salesforce team. I've been here just a little over a year, but happy to be here.
Awesome. Well, we're glad you're back for the first time. Hopefully you enjoy Sikich Live so that you come back here for a second one, of course. Yeah, right. Okay, so we'll get right into it on Salesforce for Outlook. Why don't we go over kind of just a general high level, what is Salesforce for Outlook?
Yeah, so a lot of organizations we see use Salesforce, and they're also using Microsoft Outlook, right? So Salesforce for Outlook is kind of that tool that helps align Salesforce and Outlook so they can sync together and basically keep sales reps more efficient, right? So Salesforce for Outlook is an application that needs to be installed on local machines. It's primarily the tool that helps keep sales data up to date and organized for reps and for organizations. It also allows you to see a lot of CRM data inside your Outlook and vice versa, a lot of Outlook data inside your Salesforce. But it's basically the primary tool that Salesforce would use to, sync Salesforce and Outlook together.
Great. So Salesforce says that they're retiring Salesforce for Outlook and that whole connection there. So what does that mean? What do people do from here that relied on Salesforce for Outlook for their everyday tasks?
Yeah, so Salesforce announced sometime last year that Salesforce for Outlook is going to be heading to retirement. So they ended support for it last winter, but they're finally kicking everyone off this December 2020. So users are going to lose all access to all Salesforce for Outlook functionality in the settings as well. And not to get too technical here, but Microsoft is finally ending support for Internet Explorer, and that's what basically Salesforce uses to support their Lightning experience. So once this ends support for Microsoft Internet Explorer 11, Salesforce for Outlook can no longer function. So Salesforce has been really pushing those next generation Microsoft products they have lately.
Right. Yeah. I just saw that article that Salesforce is going to be working with Azure, Microsoft Azure, on their marketing cloud. Thought that was really neat and a great new backend product for all those cloud users. So since Salesforce for Outlook is being retired, will current users still be able to use it as normal?
Yeah, so basically the short, sweet answer is going to be no. So users are going to lose all access to Salesforce for Outlook functionality and settings. This means contacts, events, or tasks will no longer sync directly between Salesforce and Outlook. If we have people out there, using Salesforce for Outlook right now, you get a nice side panel inside your Outlook. That's no longer going to be supported under Salesforce for Outlook, but hinting at maybe some other products we could talk about here in a little bit. You are going to get that functionality back once you upgrade. And then also the Outlook configuration page won't be accessible. So admins can't access this and create or edit existing Outlook configurations on their side. So basically, everything's going to be cut off from users.
Okay. So what kind of data impact will this have then?
Yeah. So like I said, admins and users lose access to Outlook configurations only, though. So any other Salesforce and Microsoft Outlook data is basically unaffected. But any information from Microsoft Outlook, contacts, events, tasks, or emails that were added or synced to Salesforce will remain in Salesforce, but that sync between Outlook and Salesforce will be no longer provided.
Okay, so how can organizations find out which users will be impacted exactly?
Yeah, so there's a couple number of different ways. I'd say the easiest way would probably be for any admin users, go into their setup, and you can actually download a Salesforce for Outlook login history report. And this report is going to pull any users using Salesforce for Outlook the past 6 months. So you can identify who in your organization is doing that or using it. But if you want maybe a longer history, past 6 months, I forget the exact date, but you can get a longer report from Salesforce. You just have to reach out to either your AE or file a case with them.
Great. So that gives the ability to find out who those active users are at the company right now that are using that integration, so that when comes December 2020, right, they're not surprised. Hey, wait, what happened to this? I didn't hear about this.
Yeah.
Go in, all the executive team and the IT team that knows about this transition where the end user might not, they can go in and really understand who's been actively using this, and then see, okay, so what's this replacement going to look like, right? That goes right into my next question. So if it's going away, what is the replacement here? What can people do to have that kind of same experience that they've had?
Yeah. So Salesforce, the one thing I like about Salesforce is they're always pushing, new releases, new products. They're always trying to make their platform better and improve on past tools and products they have. So there was actually a tool before Salesforce for Outlook, and then Salesforce for Outlook took over that tool. So now we have, the next generation of products. So if you kind of break down Salesforce for Outlook into, maybe two kind of categories, you have the Salesforce side panel that lives inside Outlook, and then you also have that contact and event syncing. So your Outlook integration is going to be the new product that takes over the Salesforce side panel, which you can see inside your Outlook, and it helps you, relate your emails to different records inside of Salesforce. But you also have your contact and event syncing, which is going to be handled now by Einstein activity capture. And there's going to be kind of two versions of those. There's a paid version and also a standard version. But users can also, sync contacts and events using Lightning Sync. But I wouldn't recommend this product right now because it's going to be unavailable to new customers come 2021 next winter.
Oh, okay. So you mentioned two kind of important things here, which was the Outlook integration plus the Einstein activity capture. So what is the Outlook integration? Let's start with that one. What is that exactly?
Yeah, so like I was just talking about, Outlook integration is going to give you this wonderful side panel right inside Outlook. That's going to be an Outlook add-in, right? And this side panel is fully customizable in Salesforce. So admins can set this up to best benefit their user experience. And this is what you're going to be using to relate email or events and attachments to actual Salesforce records in your org. So users are able to log into their Salesforce directly through this side panel, and they can relate those email or events, but they can also have the ability to create records directly in their Salesforce from the side panel. So basically this is saving users a ton of time, not having to switch back and forth between two systems, yes. which is a big complaint in a lot of organizations. That's saving reps a lot of time, just being able to document their emails directly inside their Outlook to their Salesforce.
Absolutely. Who wants to go into 5 different applications, right?
Yeah, it's
easier.
Exactly.
Yeah. So then what is Einstein activity capture? You mentioned that a little bit. What is that exactly?
Yeah, so this is the tool that I would recommend takes over that sync between the two. So basically it captures and syncs though, right? So it captures email and events from your Microsoft account and adds them directly to record activity timelines. So you can see, a timeline of all your history on emails or events. And it also eliminates the need to, manually log activities inside Salesforce, as we just talked about, saving your reps a lot of time. This tool, and on the second part of it, it syncs. So this tool also syncs events and contacts directly between Salesforce and your Microsoft account.
Okay. So I'm just curious, and the Einstein activity capture, so is that related anyway to the Einstein platform?
Yeah, so it's kind of your smart sync solution, right? So the Einstein platform is Salesforce's artificial intelligent platform, right? So right. There's a lot of unique products between that, and even Einstein activity capture can be broken down into two kind of products. You have your standard Einstein activity capture, and then your paid version, which you would have to purchase additional licenses for. And what that paid version is going to allow you to do is get more of those Einstein activity, metrics. So you get beautiful dashboards that are pre-built right in Salesforce. So your managers or your C-suite executives can, look into how activities are being used in your Salesforce, and really they can, track and manage those.
That's great. So what are the differences between the next generation products to Salesforce for Outlook?
Yeah. So for Salesforce for Outlook, anytime there was an update to it, admins would have to go in and manually update this product, right? What's great about the next generation of products is these updates happen automatically. So Salesforce has at least 3 releases a year. They have a spring, a summer, and a winter. So if there's any upgrades to these products in that time, when Salesforce releases these updates, they're automatically going to be captured and downloaded into your org. So there's nothing you have to do on the back end, which saves your admins a lot of times and usually a lot of headaches and frustrations. And also with the Outlook integration, you can draft Outlook emails using Salesforce templates. So if you have any pre-built Salesforce email templates that your reps like to use inside of Salesforce, they can also add these right inside of Outlook, so they don't have to switch back and forth systems.
Oh, wow, that's cool. Okay.
Yeah, which is kind of nice. So if there's some emails that you send out very regularly, you can create these as templates, and your Salesforce reps can either use them sending emails out of Salesforce, but also out of their Outlook inbox, which is nice. Also, Einstein Activity Capture now allows for event attendee sync. So I think it's up to 50 members per event. So if you have an event inside your Outlook, you can actually sync those contacts directly to Salesforce so they can relate to those records as well. And it also gives your email or your emails insight. So your reps can actually see sales contacts on relevant emails. These are just little blurbs that will pop up on emails, letting you know if someone maybe isn't interested or if they're out of the office. Just kind of little blurbs like that can help productivity.
That's great. Yeah. And so I know we talked about this. This was kind of sprinkled through throughout all the questions that I've given you today. But what are the best ways to prepare for this retirement of the old Salesforce for Outlook? What's the best way to transition and get companies up to date?
Yeah, without getting into a credible amount of detail, there have been a lot of people reaching out to us, and they might be hearing this for the first time that they're using Salesforce for Outlook and they had no idea that it's going to be retired, and they're kind of not freaking out a little bit, but they're kind of the deadline's approaching, right? And they don't want just their users completely cut off. So there's some things I can recommend right now to maybe ease the transition a little bit, and maybe you guys could benefit for this as well. So I'd say one of the main things is start off by running that report that we talked about, right? So you got to figure out who's using Salesforce for Outlook in your org so you can transition these users over to the new next generation of products. And also another thing you want to do is retain your current Outlook configurations. So if you retain these Outlook configuration settings, you're making note, and this will allow you to reference those when you're making the transition to the new products and setting them up, so you can retain what your users are used to. But on top of that, you want to make note of your current user experience, right? How are your reps using Salesforce for Outlook right now? Maybe some of the pain points you might have with it, so you can take these back inside your organization and maybe update your business processes a little bit to help them too. And then a final note on that is if you have multiple configurations for Salesforce for Outlook, it is very important that you make note of this so you can track which users and which profiles are assigned to each configuration.
Absolutely. No, that's great. I think those are great first steps to start. And always feel free to reach out to Sikich if anyone needs any help with the Salesforce for Outlook retirement and what your options may look like in the future. You can always find us at www.sikich.com. Got chat features, email you can send right to us, or feel free to send us an inbox, direct message here on LinkedIn, either to Cole or myself, and we'll be happy to get you to the right person. So Cole, thanks so much for being here today. That's all I have on the questions for the Salesforce for Outlook talk today. Thanks again. We hope to see you another time here in our Salesforce edition. Again, our Salesforce edition lives are each Tuesday at 1 o'clock Central Time, 2 o'clock Eastern Time. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Click to get our notifications so that you see when these come up on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And we will see you all next week. Thanks again for being here, and have a great day. Bye, everyone.